Hey, good evening. Welcome back. Today, it's a bit of a treat. Edition number 2. Cool. Here we go again, indeed. Here we go again. And good evening, good afternoon, good morning. Maybe it's 9 o'clock in San Francisco, so maybe somebody is awake over there on the other side of the world. And yeah, I hope you're doing well. If you were with me earlier on, I hope everything is good so far. And if you're joining me today for the first time, welcome back. Dustin, go Niners. Yeah, they've done very well. So I've kind of been a little bit behind them. So this year. So yeah, it's been exciting. The last 2 games were very exciting. So here we go. So yeah, here we are in San Francisco. Since the 49ers are still in the playoffs, we're gonna fly to Los Angeles on the Alaska 737 flight Alaska 215, which is a real flight. Sometimes done on a 737, sometimes done on a 320. Today we'll do it on the 737 to Los Angeles. So we're here in San Francisco. I think it's gate Delta 7 or Delta 8. The gates were actually renumbered since the scenery was made here, so that's what I've said before. Sometimes the sceneries, you know, the gate numbers change, the taxiway names change as well. So there you go. Hey, Leonel, boa tarde. How are you doing? Thank you very much. You have a nice evening as well. Dustin, I think you're correct indeed. I think SoFi Stadium is on final runway 24 right, if I'm not mistaken. 25 left also, but 25 left is a little bit more south, but definitely on final, yeah, west or west landing in Los Angeles. Yeah. I think on Volanta on the Google map you see. If you zoom in, you see the stadium, and if you zoom out, it's still like the working site or the building site, I should say, or vice versa. But one is the building site, and the other one is the actual stadium. Oh, that's quite funny. West Hub, hello again. Oh, you've got 777. Cool. Excellent. I saw there was a 777. Where is it? On Volanta. Are you the... Oh yeah, the Emirates 18. Okay, cool. Excellent. Los Angeles. So yeah, we'll take it easy. It's 55 minutes, 25,000 feet. We could have climbed a little bit higher, but 25,000 feet will do the trick. And hey, TB, good evening. How are you doing? And KFC Turbo, afternoon. Welcome back. So yeah, that's 55 minutes, 25,000 feet. Good weather in San Francisco, as you can see. Light winds. So in this kind of configuration, light winds, San Francisco will go runway 1 left. And LAX is a little bit unclear as to what the weather is doing. At the moment, there's a very light easterly wind. It's about 3 knots, so I think they prefer like west landings. So, and then the wind is actually supposed to turn to westerly wind in the next 2 or 3 hours. Maybe we can go for westerly landing and fly over the stadium, at least virtually. So yeah, I think we might do that. We'll see how it goes. Maybe if there's any other traffic, maybe ATC will be on. For the moment, it's quiet, but it's a later time. As I said, it's almost 10 o'clock in the morning on the west coast. So maybe there's a keen soul who's gonna open, you know, ATC positions. You never know. Never know. So we'll see. We'll do our best, and if we can get ATC, then it will be a huge bonus. That would be fantastic. Right, so with that out of the way, we'll jump in and get cracking. So no FS2 crew here. 737-800. If I remember, we'll go up here on the overhead panel. Turn on the RS to nav, and we'll check the flight recorder there. Check the clacker, the airspeed warning, stall warning as well. We'll give some power to the crew here. Arm the emergency exit lights now, and the trimmer can come on. The temperature actually in the cabin, it's about 20 degrees, yeah, so that's fine. You can survive. That's good. You can test this one, and then we used to test the takeoff configuration warning, which sounds the same as the altitude warning horn. So nowadays, I believe, mostly after the Helios accident, they changed it and they included this little light here that comes on takeoff config, just to help differentiate, you know, the origin of the horn, if the horn comes from the takeoff config or from the altitude warning. In the Helios accident, the captain was apparently quoted from the audio recordings, or from like recordings with most the yeah, I think mostly with the actual voice recorder. He was quoted saying, "But why is my..." or with the I think maybe they had a conversation with the engineer back in Larnaca, I think it was the base, or somewhere in Cyprus anyway. And yeah, they said, "Oh, why is my takeoff config warning sounding, you know? Why is it on?" And he didn't understand that actually it was not this config, but it was the altitude. So it's a bit of a design fault as well, because you would logically you would like give different warnings, different sounds, but for some reason they made the sound the same. So now they added up this red light, but since the guys were a little bit hypoxic already, I don't know if this would have made a difference. Yeah, is either this light, or I think there's a light here now. So anyway, just a bit of information. And then what we'll do is test the detection system there for the APU fire system. Then it's tricky. Wheel well fire, and test the engine and APU fire loops as well, so they're working. Then the fire cargo system is working as well. Then we would have the pin somewhere. That's the alternate landing gear extension. If the flap, then you've got those alternate gear, whatever they're called, like levers to pull. And if for any reason you cannot extend the landing gear, then this would help. This actually overrides the hydraulic system, and it just like pulls and releases the gear, and the gear comes down just by like gravity basically. But anyway, we don't want to do that today. We'll extend the gear normally, of course. Right, so we'll jump in the FMC. We are on the 737-800 with, don't ask me to say the name again, those fancy winglets, whatever they are, going up and down. Is it scintilla? Something like that. We have 26k of 26,000 pounds of thrust. The Iraq is from today. Today, once again, is the first day of the navigation cycle. And yeah, that goes from the 27th of Jan to February the 24th. That's that. The alarm sounds at 10,000 feet, I believe, if I remember. But don't quote me on it because it's been a long time. But I believe the horn sounds at 10,000 feet. It could be 14, but it would make sense that it sounds at 10 because from 10,000 feet upwards, it's considered as, you know, a critical altitude for us. So I would bet that it's on 10,000 feet, but I can't remember precisely. The 737 has been a long time. You will get the cabin altitude warning on the 777 at 10,000 feet. The warning would sound at that stage. It's not too late because at 10,000 feet, I mean, you are at the top of a relatively high mountain, but you're not at the top of Mount Everest, if you see what I mean. So 10,000 feet is like to give you, yeah, a heads up that the cabin altitude is increasing and that you need to take action. But it's not too late, basically. If the cabin is not, if it's not like a rapid depressurization, if the cabin is climbing only slowly, then at 10,000 feet you have time to react. We are in KSFO. Nice airport, huh? San Francisco, very scenic. And for the RS position, you can see you've got the boxes here. That means that they need to be filled in. So we'll go to the GPS left position here. Put it in the scratch pad and then put it back here. Fill in the boxes. Does that make sense, yeah, Dustin? Hope you're doing well, by the way. Hope you are recovering. We are the Alaska 215. And, oh yeah, here it's a little bit tricky. Let's see if I can do the flight plan request. SA 215. I don't know if it's gonna recognize the flight number. And now it's getting confused. Okay, we go to select and request. Let's see what happens. I never remember how this works. Actually, I'm a little bit of a donkey because I could easily put in the waypoints in. There's only like 3 waypoints, so anyway, we'll load, yeah, uplink. We want to do it in a modern way, you know? You have to use ACARS. So the route data uplink, yes. Happy days, it's here. So we'll put the flight number, the Alaska 215. And the route is as follows: Sousse, eBay, and Burgon. Easy. And then I believe it's the Ironman 2 arrival, which actually I'll already set later on so that we've got already the route. And once we're in the cruise, we can review the arrival from the FMC, but at least it's already in. So we'll activate that and execute. With Hub, not really, no. There's only a couple of aircraft which can be flown together at the same time. Well, when I said the same time, it's like, let's say on day 1 and then the following day you can fly another type. I think the 757 and the 767 had some sort of common type rating, or they could allow, if you want a pilot, to fly both types. And I think maybe the 330 and the 340, there was also the possibility to fly both pretty much at the same time. Some countries seem to allow 777 and 787 as well on the same license. I don't know if you can fly both together, but you wouldn't be able to fly, let's say, a 747 and a 737, or a 777 and a 737. They are too different, so it's really limited what you can do with these. I think when you fly, you rely so much on muscle memory and on the knowledge of, you know, the aircraft, on the various flows, getting used to, you know, having kind of landmarks in the flight deck and stuff. It's quite difficult to to go from one type to another, you know. So you need the aircraft to be very similar, so that at least if there's two different aircraft, but the flight deck and all the different functions and systems are similar, then you can kind of work your way around without too many difficulties. But like for example a 737, and like we were doing early on a 777, there's like huge differences, you know. So the reserve is 2.2. It's a small number, and the alternate for LAX is Ontario. 057 at 19 is the cruise wind. And it's true because when you look at Airbus like a 320, a 330, obviously the 319, 320 family like 318, 19, 20, 21, these are the same pretty much. It's just like the size of the aircraft. From what I can understand, I don't know Airbus, so please correct me if I'm talking rubbish. And then if you move on to a 330, yeah, it's maybe a little bit different, a little bit bigger, maybe more redundant systems because you fly a little bit further with a 330 and things like that. But there are a lot of similarities, so they can make it like quicker to transition. Right, so we've got 250 for the cruise altitude, 057 at 19 is the cruise wind. The top of climb temperature we have to take from the flight plan is minus 32 degrees Celsius. A little bit warmer than standard. And here we got 3000, 1500, that's beautiful. Okay. Right, so let's go to our departure. So we said we go from 01 left, and it's the stick 5. Charts. Here we are in San Francisco. We are in this corner here. We'll push back either on Alpha or Bravo, and then taxi to 01 left, probably Mike 1. Then for the departure, next chart, looking at San Francisco, stick 5 RNAV departure, runway 1 left. Do not exceed 210 knots until leaving 520 feet. Well, this is a little bit of a silly warning because you're climbing to 3000 feet before you accelerate, you know. So since you climb at V2 plus 15 or whatever, it's never gonna exceed 210 knots. That's maybe for like a fighter jet or something, but not for like usual airliner. So I don't know why they put warnings like this. Anyway, I guess it's to limit the speed in the turn here, but we'll be limiting the speed anyway. So we're gonna go to stick first. After 520 feet, we go to stick, and then we go to Porty. And it's maximum 10,000 feet on this one, so we'll bear that in mind. However, there's no ATC, so this is purely for traffic avoidance, I think, because normally in San Francisco you have traffic arriving on top of the airport at 11,000 feet, then dropping down on the downwind there, and then coming back over the bay. So if you limit traffic over the airport here at 10,000 feet, yeah, you're kind of deconflict. Right, so Porty is 10,000 feet or below, then to Suzy down here, and that's our transition and departure. Initially flight level 190, however with Porty at 10,000 feet, theoretically, you need to set 10,000 feet in the MCP. However, I will just play around with the VNAV and see how it works today. So we'll set flight level 190 actually, and we'll see if we cross Porty before actually reaching 10,000 feet, then there won't be any problem. If we reach 40, or if we reach 10,000 feet before 40, then we'll level off at 10,000 feet and then continue the climb. So we'll see if the VNAV works as advertised. Right, so this one is set, and we said we'll set the arrival for LAX as well. So we'll put 25 left. And Ironman. Where's the Ironman 2? The transition is Burgle. With altitude change to 26. Why? Oh, there must be a restriction at 26. In that case, hold on. Maybe we can increase the cruise level then. So let's make it 27 then. Okay. 7. We'll keep, since the route is going in southeasterly direction, we'll keep the cruise level as odd flight level number. Right, so this is good. We'll leave it here. Cool. Let me close those doors so that I can get rid of the heat-shrink. Heat-shrink is standing by. We'll close the right side of the aircraft. As I explained earlier on, you know, when we were talking about the 777 battery start, most of the time, and you must have realized, you know, while traveling and stuff, that you usually board on the left-hand side of the aircraft. The refueling is also on the left-hand side most of the time, but the boarding 100% of the time. I've never seen boarding from the right side of the aircraft. And the airports are set like this as well, you know. And then the catering very often comes, you know, on the right side. Yeah, well, you don't have to put the autopilot all the time. A lot of airlines are actually trying to move away from imposing, you know, to their pilots having to put the autopilot straight away. So a lot of airlines kind of allow, you know, pilots to fly even in the cruise. I mean, there was recently I was listening to that guy in the US saying, oh, you know, in the US we can fly, we can hand fly all the way up to the cruise, and in the cruise, and if the weather is good, then we even like hand fly the whole descent and the approach, and no flight director, no auto throttle, all that stuff. So you can do it if you want. It's just at the end of the day, the autopilot is kind of giving you a little bit more capacity, you know, to manage the rest. Because otherwise you'll be like all the time, you know, focused on one thing, and then maybe you can lose track of everything else happening in the flight deck. But yeah, I mean, everybody can fly. Yeah, I think on the Legend, on the takeoff and the landing is a good time. You know, you take off, you climb, hand fly a little bit, then as you're kind of stable in the climb, at the end of the day, there's no much of I find there's no much interest like flying 300 knots in a, you know, level, not level, but like the wings level climbing. Once you pass, I don't know, 10,000 feet or whatever, you're just climbing. Then you don't really change many things, you know. But the departure is interesting because you've got the turns, you've got the acceleration, the flap retraction, changes of speed, of trim. So you've got a little bit more of a feel for the aircraft, and you know, you do a little bit more. But once you're established in the climb, all trimmed out, and you're climbing at, I don't know, at 300 knots, then it's, yeah. That's why after a while, like personally, I don't like hand fly anymore, because there's no more point. Initially, yes, but then after a while, no, because it doesn't change what you do. I had a guy many years ago on the 737 who took me all the way to 41,000 feet manually. And I can't remember if we had the flight director or not, but definitely remember flying manually all the way to like 41,000 feet. On that flight we were light or something, so we managed to go all the way up to 41. And yeah, at high altitude the aircraft feels a little bit different because it's much more sensitive. So it's maybe interesting to see it, but at the same time, is there a need for it? I don't know. True. You could argue that's true, Roy. That it's not manual flying if you have the flight director. However, I would say that the flight director like offers guidance, which might defeat the purpose of hand flying. But very often you can fly and kind of what we say like fly through the flight director, so kind of disregard what it's telling you. And you can anticipate like turns, you can disregard maybe a pitch guidance it gives you and fly, you know, a little bit lower so you can accelerate quicker. Or you can do things a little bit and disregard what the flight director is telling you. The flight director would tell you basically what the automation will do, but the automation wouldn't necessarily do things right, you know, all the time. So you can kind of adapt a little bit and fly through the flight director. Cool. What else did I want to do? Oh yeah. So we've got QNH 3024, yeah, correct. And the FS panel here. We'll switch on the flight director, because that's what we do. The runway heading, where is the runway heading? Have it here. 014, yeah, that rings a bell. Yeah, so 014. And fly level 190, and the other flighter needs to come on as well. So on the 737, the master function of the flight director, here you can see this little MA in green. That tells you that the left flight director is the master, and therefore for example, the command A is basically associated with the left flight director, and that will decide what the aircraft is doing. So you can change between command A and command B, and change as well. For example, if you track a VOR with command A, you can track the left side of the radio navigation, and with command B, you can track the right side of the radio navigation system. It's a little bit of a dual thing. I had a video a long time ago explaining this a little bit. You could like in practice fly a departure with no FMC. If the departure is based on VORs and radials and things like that, you can fly the departure without the FMC by just, you know, following the radials and alternating the autopilot. So use command A and command B. Roy, the term recycling the flight director is basically I'm not sure they actually use the term in Airbus, but in Boeing it's a Boeing term, so it's not specific to an airline. It's more like a plane thing. So yeah, it's coming from Airbus, from the manufacturer. What recycle the flight director does, and what it means, is basically to reset, a bit like you're pressing like a reset on the computer or something. It just resets the automation. So if a mode doesn't work out properly, or if there's a bit of a glitch in the system or something, you can, you know, recycle. So yeah, basically means reset. Right, so this is good. This is set. I need to do RTO. Go 122 decimate for Unicom and 2000 on the scope. Radio navigation, we don't need to touch anything because it's all RNAV. We'll go on the overhead panel. With the fuel pumps on. Just the main tank pumps, because in the middle there and the center pumps, the center tank, sorry, there's no fuel. So if there's no fuel, then there's no need to switch on the pumps. I think on Airbus, regardless of fuel in the center tanks, from what I remember from the beloved Aerosoft Airbus, you still put the pumps on, if I'm not mistaken. But on a Boeing, you don't. Even on the 777, you only switch on the pumps where there is fuel. Otherwise, you get the low pressure warning like this. So you don't want to fly with this. What else? You can put seatbelt sign on. The window heat can come on. I will switch on the hydraulics now. Make some noise in the wheel well. Let's start the APU. Then we'll reconfigure the packs. We'll set the cruise altitude in the pressurization panel here. 27,000 feet. And the airport elevation, where is it? The airport elevation on the flight plan. 128, so we'll call it 150 then. Oh yeah, yeah, I couldn't do it. Good. Good, thank you, Legend. So on Airbus you turn all the pumps, yeah. And Roy, yeah, you turn all the pumps on auto. So it's an auto function, so the system, I guess the system must be able to detect if there is fuel or not. And so therefore, if there is fuel, then the pump is working the way it should. If there's no fuel, then the pump is not working. So the pump is not like sucking dry, basically. Hey, Benissa Savage, how are you doing? Who do I have winning this week? I don't know. In French, we say like 2 never goes without 3. So if I remember, 49ers won the 2 games this year against the Rams. So why not a 3rd time? However, very often when it's playoff time, then the team who lost during the normal season then wins. You know, there's a change of fortunes. So it's hard to tell. I'll be hoping for San Francisco so we can do again this flight. Because the Super Bowl is in Los Angeles. That's it. So we should have the APU running. So we'll switch on the air conditioning packs and the APU bleed. So now the APU is providing, you know, the air conditioning through the packs to the cabin. Cool. I think I'm set up here. I'm set down here. They just made it to the playoff. Then they beat Dallas, which was a good game. I got really excited with that one. And in Green Bay, at some point, I thought this is not gonna happen. You know, it started to snow. They were a little bit behind on the score, and then you know, things changed and they got that blocked punt where then they scored a touchdown, and then I could feel that, you know, the momentum was switching a little bit, and yeah, and then they won at the end on the field goal, so that was good. Right, performance then, let's do. Bring FMC. So we are in KSFO. Gonna go runway 1 left. So once again, the performance takeoff here, the kind of module or application is very, very, very similar to what you would have on the aircraft, actually. On the 737, I actually never used that because at the time there were no such kind of tablet, like, you know, being latched onto the side of the flight deck there near the window. Or it was like performance tables we used to have. So, but on the 777 nowadays that we have all the necessary, you know, equipment and everything, it's exactly like this. So in terms of simulation and trying to have the real thing, this is good. The accuracy of the information is another matter altogether, but at least the look of it and the presentation is correct. Wind, where was the wind? We'll call it 0, I guess. Choky board. You can put 0. So no wind. Temperature is... Let's call some weather, actually. So meter... KSFO. 11 degrees, not bad. A nice winter day. NH is 3026, yeah. Oh, I think you have to put the point. Yeah, 3026. Press rating, we'll check 22K. Flaps will go with 5. Air conditioning is on, and anti-ice is off. And the weight of the aircraft is 63.9. Oh yeah. If I don't press, then it's not gonna work. And calculate. Okay. So we have yeah, assume temperature, and takeoff 2 is good. Excellent. So zero fuel weight is 57.8. We'll put 57.8 here. And 6.5 tons of fuel. 64.3, yep, that's good. So we'll execute that. What I'll do is actually change the cost index maybe to 40, so that we get a higher descent speed, because that warning they are unable to 80 knots is because of the descent speed. With cost index 35 on the 737, it always gives you in the descent 279 knots. So if you have a restriction at 280, then the computer is you know, saying, I can't do it, you know. So you have to help it a little bit. Then on the N1 we can take 22K derate, so we'll select 22K derate, take off 2 here, and then from this we can insert 33 degrees. From 91% it's gonna reduce the thrust a tiny bit more. Yeah, to 90. Not bad. Then the flaps is 5. So on the 737 you can take off, of course, flaps 5. You can take off flaps 1. I think you can take off flaps 15, if I'm not mistaken. And maybe even flaps 25. Can you actually? If I put 25? Yes. 15? Yes. You do 1? Yes. 0 not. No, invalid. No, you can't do it. But no, we used to. I used to do it with flaps 5 all the time. The reason was that on the 737-800, you could, you know, hit the tail a little bit with flaps 1. So flaps 5 was, you know, used 99% of the time. Then 138 on the V1, 138 and 145. The FMC was not too far actually. Cool. That's it. So we'll set the V2 145 and we'll engage LNAV, VNAV. Let's start actually at the APU on the bus. The APU is already running and we'll disconnect everything. Take off with flap 0. We're gonna get because the aircraft recognizes the configuration, and if we try to take off with no flaps, you're gonna get this bad boy all the way during the takeoff roll. So you'd have to be you would have to be you know, I don't know, deaf or something, or stupid, you know, to take off like that. The only thing that can happen is the warning there. There's a circuit breaker. If the circuit breaker pops up and therefore the system is not energized, then you're not gonna get the warning. But there's a lot of ifs. First of all, you would have to forget to configure the aircraft, and then you would need the system to be disabled somehow. So but you know, I don't know if you've ever heard in aviation, and very often they talk about that when there are accidents and a lot of circumstances getting together to create an accident. It's the holes in the Swiss cheese, you know, lining up. So I'm sure you must have heard this this phrase, you know, the cheese, the Swiss cheese, and the holes lining up, you know. And once all the holes line up, you know, you get a bad event coming out of it. Right, where was I? Don't know where. Oh yeah, I need to disconnect those doors and stuff. Do that. So let's close the doors. I'm not gonna do the boarding today. Today on this one. The doors will close the first door and close the cargo doors as well. As you know, this is purely once again a simulation thing. In the aircraft is not the way to do it. In the aircraft there are actual people doing it, both in the cabin and on the ground. And connections. Remove the chucks. Good. Excellent. Should be ready to go. Yes. Let me know if I'm forgetting anything. No, it's a safeguard because you can't obviously take off with the flaps up, so it's good to have the aircraft basically knowing what configuration it's in, and if it's not in the correct configuration, then it's gonna tell you. The only thing it's not gonna tell you is if you are in the wrong flap setting, because you could have calculated your performance here with flaps 15 and by mistake have flaps 5. From a configuration point of view, the aircraft doesn't know really what you put in the FMC on the 737. On the 777 it does, but not on the 737. So if you see what I mean, you could have flaps 15 for the actual takeoff performance that you've calculated, but you have selected 5, and since 5 is a takeoff setting, then the aircraft wouldn't know any better. The 777 does, because on the 777 with the electronic checklist, when you enter the flap setting here, it kind of tells the checklist what flap setting to expect. So if you have flaps 5 and you select flaps 15, then the checklist is not going to complete. And the 777 also has like the kind of similar config warning as well. Right, so we'll cut these off. The packs as well can come off. I will put the anti-collision light on. Parking brake set. This one will put it on. Boom. San Francisco traffic, Alaska 215 pushing back from Delta 7. Let's do it. Pushing back. And it's gonna take a while. Huh? That's Natalia. She's driving the tug. Natalia. She's my sister. Number 1.
Hello, Captain. We're ready for pushback.
Yeah, I'm ready as well. San Francisco. Beautiful airport. Ah, that's you. What's up? Whoa, what's this guy? Doesn't have a tail. He's dispatched with the MEL, huh? Gosh. Who's that? Nose to the left.
Departure check completed. Bypass pin inserted. Release parking brakes. Commencing push.
Parking brake
All
release.
engines clear. Start at will.
Right, so here it's a little bit more hands-on. Yeah, the it's a UFO. Yeah. Oh, it's you, Roy. Oh gosh. The yeah, indeed, the model matching has like massacred the BAE 146. It does have a tail. I'm glad. Otherwise, I'm not sure it's gonna fly. Eh? Yeah, so for the start, we go start switch to ground. And then we'll have to wait for 25% on the N2. It's got the little flashing light there. Nice APU.
Traffic, MS18 lining up runway 1 right.
And at 25%, I'm not looking. Yeah, you need to bring the in.
Set parking brakes.
Traffic,
Waiting your confirmation for
Parking
good
brake
engine
set.
start.
left intersection, go.
Hey, Antefes, good evening. How are you doing? Nice APU. This is looking good. Engine is turning. That's it. Number 2 is stable. We'll start number 1. The start switch to ground here. And once again, we'll wait for 25% on the N2. So first, note the N2 increase. Then note the oil pressure increase as well. And finally, the N1 increasing. And yeah, at 25% N2, bring the fuel in. It has no gear either. I've not even looked. Oh yeah, it's true. It's like sliding over the ground. Like a ghost. Yeah, doing good. Antefes, thank you very much. We're just gonna do a quick flight to Los Angeles, so not bad. From Chicago, from Copenhagen to Chicago is a long flight. Must be a good 8 hours or something like that. A long, long way. How are things doing otherwise? All good?
San Francisco traffic MS 18 is airborne from runway 1.
Right, so the generators go on the bus, the probe heat on. I'm puzzled because it auto function here, but I'll just put it on. This is too advanced for me. Packs on, isolation valve is auto, the APU bleed goes off. Star switches come continuous. APU off now. We go flaps 5. What else did I want to do? Oh yeah, check the recall. There's nothing on the 6-pack here. And yeah, we blank the lower display here. If we blank the display here, because if there's a problem with an engine, then the lower display will pop up. So it kind of like, you know, grabs your attention. So that's why we do it. And these are idle detent. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of buttons on the 737. There's a lot to be configured. I'm not really running a checklist. I should, because I'm probably forgetting one or two things. But there's a lot of buttons and switches to and to actually get it right, because you could kill yourself if you don't get it right. So on the 737, the checklist discipline is very important. Oh, 9.5 hours from Copenhagen to Chicago. Gosh. Legend, this flight is about 55 minutes. It's quick. Right. Ah, I've not dismissed GSX. Gosh. Let's switch that off. Save half a frame per second or something. I don't know actually if it does have an impact.
Unlocking gear.
Yeah, we need the checklist. Now on the 737, as I said, if you want to do things properly, at least in the aircraft, you do need a checklist, and you need to be really strict, you know, the way you do the checklist. I'm puzzled by the little green arrow there at the speed. Because it kind of like shows that the speed is about to increase.
Left is clear.
But
Right is
the
clear.
parking brake is set, we're not moving, so... Oh yeah, this time of year over the Atlantic. Yeah. It's a struggle to get out of the wind on TFS, it's true. The MD-82 is unflyable without checklist. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Because there must be, I don't know the MD-82 very well, but I'm sure there's a lot of buttons and stuff and switches which need to be properly configured, so... Where are those guys? Are they gone? Yeah, he's walking away. Let's go. So I'm sure that you have to run the checklist properly. And then you remember that the checklist is actually not it's not actually there for you to follow and do things. The checklist is there to check, you know, that everything is in the correct position. So you do the different switching, all the different flows, and then once this is done, then you do the checklist to check, as the name says, that everything is in the correct configuration. But it's easy to mistake, you know, the checklist as a to-do thing, you know. as a list of things to do, basically. That's not what it's there for. Yeah, I was thinking of that, but the wind is reported relatively calm. You would get a green arrow like this if there were like strong wind gusts. It would like be picked up like this, but since the wind is calm, San Francisco traffic, Alaska 215 taxiing to 1 left. Right. Weather radar. And we'll configure the aircraft actually for the takeoff. Probes. Autothrottle arm switch. Transponder set, yeah. And the stop trim, that's the one I always forget. 5.1 unit. Here we are.
San Francisco traffic, Cashmore 086 on ILS 28 right, 10 miles.
Oh, there's somebody on final. Oh, in San Francisco it's spectacular when you have departures, one left, one right, sometimes in parallel, which is amazing. And then you've got the landing traffic on 28 left and right. It's just like a symphony of traffic. Let me see quickly where I'm going here. Hotel. Oh. Mike. So the next, not the next one, but the one after. So we still have 5 green light, which is good. Stop trim is set, very much ready to go. Oh yeah, Air France 086 is going 777. Oh Mike. Oh Mike 1. Which one is this? Oh, this is Mike, so we should have Mike 1, but... Oh yeah, it's there. So let's go for Mike 1 then. Yeah, if they have relatively small aircraft, they would definitely have traffic departing at the same time on one left, one right. But it's spectacular because the runways are very close to each other. I mean, we're gonna have a look at it now. It's very, very close. San Francisco traffic, Alaska 215 lining up and holding position 1 left. Yeah, I'm not gonna cut in front of the Air France traffic there. And the right side. The runway 1 left, Mike 1, that is correct. Good. Yeah, so that's one runway here and the other runway there. There's just a tiny taxiway linking both. Check this guy. It's a Berlin game. Yeah, I don't think it would be a good idea to take off now. It would give him like a fright, I think. Very nice. bit of smoke. Touchdown. San Francisco traffic, Alaska 215 rolling 1 left. Right, let's line it up a little bit because I was not.
Airborne 086, runway 28 right gated, crossing 28 left into the ramp.
Get that better. That's it, get in the middle and let's go. Let's go, let's go. Oh no, Ralba, it's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a long time for B5 to be ready. There's so many things to transfer. It's gonna take a long time.
V1.
And up we go. And positive climb. Gear up. Yeah, it's gonna start. I'll anticipate, as I was talking about earlier on, the turn and the flight director. Oh nice, you could hear the thrust reduction there at 1500 feet. Right, so we'll open the speed window. I don't like this. Jeez. And we're gonna fly the turn at relatively slow speed at flap 5, and then once the turn is complete, then we can accelerate. Because there's no point accelerating in the turn. Oh, we are missing the Golden Gate and everything there. But we have fun a little bit flying the departure manually. We had a look at the Golden Gate the other day on the flight to Green Bay, so that's alright. Hands in the air. Oh, there's some traffic there. Petit gas. If the aircraft is in trim, theoretically, you can let go of the controls. Right, we'll close the speed window now.
You remember one thing.
Accelerate.
You screw up just this much, you'll be flying a cargo plane full of rubber dog shit out of Hong Kong. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Who was that? Felix, thank you very much for the follow. Flaps 1. And flaps up. He wants to pitch down for some reason. But you want to do that. It's difficult because, as I explained before, you don't get the force feedback with the joystick. So in the aircraft you would feel it. With the 777 you've got that FBW option in the simulator, but on the 737 not the case. come on. Yeah, it's a little bit funky, but it's okay. That's the trick. And Command A. Right, so it's gonna level off here. Remember that we've got 10,000 feet. Here we go. It's gonna level off. Actually, somebody above here. Where is that guy? The area. The airport down here. Where's the other traffic? Oh, here it is. American 767801. Oh, nice. Yeah, downtown San Francisco. Background. Oh no, West Hub. That's a shame. I hate computer issues. I really do. Alright, I've not done my after takeoff checklist there. I was sitting dumb and happy. Now it's 10,000 feet, so we'll retract these. This can go off as well. It can go off. Release the seatbelt sign. Check the recall. Set. So yeah, the VNAV worked properly there. 10,000 feet leveled off. Took into account the restriction, and once you pass the waypoint, since you have flight level 190 set up here, then it climbs. We go to 270 now. Los Angeles, here we come. Oh no, you can't end them as well with the task manager. Oh gosh. Yeah, that's the only thing, is that you're dependent on the technology, you know. You don't have auto throttle and VNAV? With the Ghost Rider. It was so funny, and no tail, no gear. The model matching indeed is struggling.
Traffic.
Okay. Oh yes, that guy there. Oh, here's San Jose. That's San Jose Airport. I think actually some of the flights that the 49ers like take to travel, you know, around the country for like various games and stuff, they sometimes leave from San Jose apparently, according once again to FlightAware. Oh man, yeah, don't talk about Windows 11, and that would be a disaster. Oh gosh, no Windows 11. I don't want to have to update these things. It's a beautiful morning in California. Just a tiny bit hazy, but looking good, looking good. Right, so that's the transition. Set the altimeters to standard. Yeah, Legend, because San Jose, the stadium, Levi Stadium, is in Santa Clara, I think it's called, which is the top here, I think. It's somewhere around here. Santa Clara in this area there. You notice that the circle is widening as I go along, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's in this area there. Santa Clara and San Jose here. Yeah, they moved from Candlestick a few years back already, which is between basically the airport and downtown San Francisco, if I'm correct, to Santa Clara. So San Jose is actually maybe, well, maybe it's actually closer for them if they leave from the stadium. But yeah, it should be called the Santa Clara 49ers. Isn't there at the moment a bit of controversy actually about that? Oh. A300, 600, FedEx. Oh wow, I can't believe the amount of traffic around here actually. Wow. Is he on Volanta? On traffic? Yes. I know that's a different guy. B50? Beechcraft? Oh, it's an A300. I like that, it makes it realistic. I know the labels are a little bit funky, but just to help identify the traffic here in the simulation, because otherwise you wouldn't know, you know, who's who. But it's really nice to have a bit of traffic around. Oh, and there's a little contrail. This guy is making a contrail. Check this out. At 26,000 feet, he's making a contrail. Nice. That's maybe a little bit low, huh, for a contrail. Windows 11 won't pass my door. No. True. Also, it's true. Yeah, the Giants and the Jets are. Yeah, theoretically in New Jersey, because MetLife Stadium is in the Meadowlands, which is in New Jersey. So, Legend TC on the navigation display is yeah, top of climb. Thank you, Ralba. Well, PPL, how are you doing? Good evening. Whoop, whoop. Thank you very much. Hope everything is going well. The weekend is almost there. I'm doing good, thank you very much. Thank you for asking. Today, as said on the Discord server, is a double header. You are in luck. I was on earlier on to fly to Kansas City, and now we're flying to Los Angeles, so very lucky. And look at that, 2 traffic here. I mean, there's no ATC. Oh, LAX Center is on. Oh, happy days. I can't believe the amount of traffic around here. It's oh, here's the King Air and the FedEx up here. It's 11 o'clock in the morning on the west coast of the US in California there. Happy days. We could actually have climbed a little bit higher than 27. Fuel is virtual here. How is the TB20, my PPL? Thank you again. I don't know if I had the opportunity to thank you for the video with the de-icing system, anti-icing system on the TB20 that you posted very kindly on the Discord. I know I dropped a word on the Discord server, but I don't know if I actually said from you know, live. So thank you for the video. It was very interesting. It was good to see, you know, the aircraft. It's a clever system, actually. So you see here on the 737, we were talking earlier on today's previous flight about, you know, the track and the heading. This one only has the heading. There's no track function on the 737. So you'll see me adjust the heading much more often than with the track, because with the wind changes, then the heading, even if it's by 1 degree, then changes. Yeah, at the moment, yeah, in January, I saw there's a storm coming for the UK at the weekend. I saw like forecast for 45-50 knots, I think, on Saturday morning. So I'm sure it's gonna affect pretty much the whole of the UK, maybe like also like the north of France and Belgium and maybe the Netherlands as well. So it's gonna be another wild weekend. Oh, you're going to upgrade the panel, yeah? So what are you going to change? New GPS, new engine monitor, new transponder with TAS system. Oh wow, so that's a good upgrade. Wow, this is really good. Yeah, you can do some serious flying with this aircraft. It's nice to see. Wow. New GPS, new engine monitor, and the transponder with the TAS. TAS or TCAS? Right, so we should be top of descent in 18 minutes. Lovely. We've got a bit of extra fuel in Los Angeles as well, just in case. Also the TCAS, yeah, traffic or traffic alert system, yeah. It's not proper TCAS, yeah, but it will still give you maybe some information, yeah, about traffic. It's just to tell you where the traffic is, but traffic and collision avoiding system. Yeah, and that's traffic alert system. I need to go out more on Sundays, you know. I don't know all these things. Oh, let's have a look. The links ADSB in and out transponder and display system. Oh yeah, so it's based on ADSB, huh? So we'll pick up the ADSB from other aircraft, and then it displays on the map where all these other aircraft are. Is it becoming more and more compulsory to have ADSB for general aviation where you are? Yeah, that's what I thought. Because as you know, like for example with Flight Radar 24, that's where the information is derived from, huh? If I'm correct. It's all with ADSB. Where's the boundary with LA? Sure, the controller will contact me, but after eBay. It's about 40 miles to go, boundary. Yeah, because with general aviation, very often you're a little bit on your own. It depends where you fly, but Very often they would, if you fly in a non-radar environment and you only get some sort of like flight information service, they tell you a little bit where the other traffic is, but it depends if they want to take part or not. As you know, in uncontrolled airspace, it's not necessary to sometimes depend on the class of airspace, but if you're in G airspace, for example, then you can do whatever you want pretty much. So so it's good to have, you know, the extra layer of protection. The only thing is that, of course, if the other aircraft are not equipped with it, then you're basically trying to the system is trying to communicate with another aircraft, but it doesn't have the, you know, the means to communicate. So if the other aircraft is not equipped, then you can have all the equipment you want, is not going to work. But if everybody, and that's why I guess the mandate is coming from, if everybody is equipped, then, you know, the aircraft will talk to each other. Most parts of Europe is flight information service for VFR, yeah. In class G, and in the US you can ask for flight following. Yeah. Flight following, I think, is a little bit better. Flight information service, sometimes I remember from the old days, it was just, you know, to tell the information guy, oh, this is where I am, who I am. I'm at like such an altitude in such an area, and yeah, that's it. Request flight information service, and the guy will get back to you saying, oh, Golf whatever flight information service. It will give you a pressure area setting or something like that. The regional QNH 1013 and report next waypoint. Then I'll say, oh yeah, in the I don't know, in the Manchester area I've got traffic, you know, but minimum information indeed. And in France it was even worse, I have to say, because I remember like leaving the area of my home airfield, and I wanted to stay in touch, you know, on the radio, you know, just in case there's a problem or something. And you leave the control area, and then he says, oh, frequency change is approved, goodbye. I'm like, frequency change approved to who? So, and in the UK you can also ask for flight following. Oh, okay. Oh, that's changed then. Oh, that's good. In the UK, what they used to have, but I'm talking about like, yeah, 15, 20 years ago or whenever, around the military airports, they used to offer, what was it called? Radar advisory service and radar information service. So basically it was like flight information, but they had basically radar, because they're like military ATC, so they would have radar, so you could ask them for, you know, basically a radar backup, which was nice. Was the LARS system, low airspace or low advisory radar service or something like that? Can't remember exactly what LARS was supposed to stand for. I'm sure they still do it. There's no reason why it should be taken away. That guy. 13555, I think.
This is version 1979. I just want to make sure I confirm that QNH is 0057, correct?
Dustin, no, I've not had the opportunity to go. No, unfortunately.
Version 1979 again?
The QNH that you provided me was 00.
There's a right grumpy woman who works at Farnborough radar. Oh gosh.
Negative. I didn't provide you a QNH.
QHF 057, the message I got from you, center. All message.
It's one of those. Sometimes you wonder, you know, I don't want to sound like sexist or anything like that. But you hear a voice, sometimes the voice like sounds nice, but you think, what does she look like, and vice versa, you know.
1957. Disregard. That was just.
Oh yeah, because they changed the terms.
I accidentally
so
sent
basic
it to you,
service,
so you can ignore that.
traffic service, the confliction service. Yeah.
Okay, sir, no problem. No problem.
Or IFR and procedural
Yeah, I couldn't
service.
figure out what you were talking about, but yeah, that's just some code stuff. And when you said QNH, I'm thinking altimeter settings. So, yeah, once you get calling for taxi, then I'll give you the altimeter setting at LA.
You know what? Forgive me. I mean, using the wrong term. As long as I've been doing this, I'm sorry. I got Beacon 7315 for 1979 copy. I apologize. That was my fault.
Yeah, no worries.
Oh.
Hey, we're all. This is the place to make mistakes, not in the real world. Let me tell you.
They're having fun
Roger
there.
that. I'll let you know I'm ready for pushing back for 1979.
Version 1979. You don't need a call for push. You're going to push back in a non-movement area, so you can do it at your own discretion. We don't have ramp control currently at LA, so push at your own discretion. But when you push down in the Charlie,
It's always interesting, yeah, the chat there. That's it.
I've copied that. Clear to push back my own discretion via Charlie 10 in the alley. We'll let you know when I'm ready for taxi for 1979.
All right. Spirit Wings 2933. Climb maintain level 370.
Yeah, I'm glad we have a bit of ATC.
KLAX 37 Bravo. Wind 2905. Runway 25 left. Clear lane.
Oh, 25 left, okay. So let's get 25 left dotted out. Alley Center, good morning, Alaska 215, level 270.
Alaska 215 Los Angeles Center, squawk 7274.
Squawk 7274, Alaska 215.
765, Lumen Airspace East, radar service terminated, frequency change approved. Albuquerque Center's offline, switch to advisory now, 122.8. You have a good flight, looks like you're going to New Orleans.
That we are. Southwest 75 going up Albuquerque. Have a good day.
All right, a little early for Mardi Gras, but have a good flight anyway.
Yeah, Mardi Gras, it's maybe a bit early. Yeah.
Good evening, Delta 20.
Coming soon, but a little bit early.
Zuzix, level 360.
Mardi Gras. Right, so these are 250.
Delta 2659 Los Angeles Center, good morning, squawk 7107. Alaska 215, radar contact 5 miles west of the Avenal VOR. Descend via the Ironman 2 arrival.
Descend via the Ironman 2 arrival. We'll request 25 left in LAX, Alaska 215.
All right, Alaska 215, expect 25 left.
Expect 25 left. Thank you very much, Alaska 215.
Ironman 80, welcome to Las Vegas. Cross 1 right, taxi to your gate, monitor my frequency.
Cool.
Cross 1 right, monitor your frequency.
Taxi chart.
Below 1080.
Still 2659, radar contact 15 miles southeast
Should
of
be
the
going
Boulder
to gate
VOR.
65. So
Descend via the Lucky 1 arrival.
Descend by Lucky 1 arrival.
we
Delta
have.
2659.
We were cleared actually for the
Ironman
Ironman 2 on arrival, Los Angeles. We're coming from Borgo, which I think we have passed already, no? Where's Burgle?
FedEx 1853 Los Angeles Center, good morning, squawk 7102.
Squawk 7102.
I'm not really sure, West Hub. They seem to be relatively relaxed today.
Right,
It's
one
nice.
Foxtrot.
It's nice to hear.
Standby. You need to turn on your
I'm
transponder.
not sure they're
Squawk low
always
speed
like
for me,
that,
please.
but today is nice. Really relaxed. The guy sounds happy, so that's good. Do it. Okay, Crowy is 29026. Yeah. Muppet.
FedEx 1853, radar contact 27 miles southeast, Avenal VOR. Cross the Flavor intersection, 1414,000.
Is
Cross Flavor intersection at
90230.
14,000. FedEx 1853.
Then biking.
Alright, one Foxtrot, radar
16,
contact 41
200.
miles
Running,
northwest of the Fillmore
17,
VOR. This is the
14.
Ironman 2 arrival.
Ironman 12,000, 16,000. Simon is 250, 12 and 13, yeah. That's a lot of waypoints, man. Base 240 and 9,000. Juice, Cliffy and Dodger. And Gado, okay, 6,000 feet. And then on the ILS, I will take it
Alaska
from,
353, what was your request?
Unda, yeah. Unda, Gigi,
Alaska
and
353,
25
unable to give you that due to direction of flight.
So Unda,
Give you
Gigi,
flight level
and
320
25
or
left.
340.
Yeah, I meant that.
Where are the minima? 310.
Alright, Alaska 353, claim maintain level 320.
320, thanks.
Tahiti was calling, go ahead.
310 on the minima. Missed approach to Catley. Eh? Yeah, to Catley. And 2,000
Turkish.
feet.
8 Tango Bravo.
So
Los
just the
Angeles Center,
frequencies
good
now,
morning,
and then we
squawk
should be sorted
7306.
out.
One left, clear to land, long roll
Yeah,
out,
foggy Canadian Scarbus driver, Starway, the Killer Country, and Habanero. Fantastic.
Cargo Lux 37 Bravo Heavy, welcome to LA.
Oh, you're gonna restart the flight? Yeah, yeah, he sounds like
Cargo.
a good guy to fly with today. Right.
Cargo Lux 37 Bravo, did you copy?
Thank you very much again, my PPL. 109.9 on the frequencies.
Alright, thanks for flying. See you later.
See you later, alligator. So 109.9.
FedEx 1853, that's descent clearance.
Do you see on a short flight like this,
Instructions, cross flavor
pilots
at
have not
14,000. You start your
got
descent when
too
you're
much
ready.
time to get bored, eh?
Thanks very
Because
much.
things happen quite quickly. You need to set up the aircraft.
Always
you
good,
need to brief.
always good to confirm.
Always good to confirm. Indeed. Maybe auto brakes 3.
Formula 1 Foxtrot, where are you parking at LA?
Descent pressurization, land altitude
Alright, Formula 1 Foxtrot, expect
set
vectors, ILS
150.
25 left approach.
Recall was checked. Auto brake is 3. Landing data VRF. I've not set that one. No, donkey.
Dallas, 21, so it's kind of list of 10 minutes.
I knew I was forgetting something.
Delta
3.5
2132,
on
approved
the
as requested.
fuel.
Let me know you're back.
58. That's gonna be 61.3. So there goes 61.3
Okay, so 21.
and flap 30. Plus 5.
Delta 2132, say again?
That's it.
That's
That's why we do a checklist, you know. As I said, it's not like
you have
a
to slow down a little bit. I'm
to-do
having a hard
list.
time understanding you.
It's a checklist to check that you've done everything, and I had not done the VRF. So now we've got on this.
Hello, Center. Good day. Delta
260.
heading car.
Delta 1926, Los Angeles Center.
So landing
Good
data
morning, squawk
VRF
7241.
is 144 and minimum's 310. Approach briefing is completed. That's the descent checklist complete. what's the weather in? So the METAR and KLAX.
Can't seem to get the arrival for LAS.
300 at 5. 19 degrees.
Triple 880. Rounders 1 is what I gave you. That's a newer air rack. Do you have older older navigational information in your FMC?
We actually just updated it this morning.
Right, 230 is the next level.
Let me try it again.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not working, unfortunately.
Check the. Usually at your intro screen on the FMC, it'll give the.
Today, for some reason,
should give the air rack
doesn't
code.
want to log on.
And shoot,
The
I don't
bot
remember
is,
what it is because
kaput.
I haven't updated my flight. I can't talk today. Haven't updated my aircraft so I could see, but it's going to be a 22, probably 2202, I think. Now I'm not sure.
2201.
Sure, you have the most updated navigational information.
Right, so at Muppet, they should come back ever so slightly on the speed now.
Circus 8 Tango Bravo, radar contact 51 miles northeast of the Mora Mesa VOR.
I like that.
It
does add a little
Chow
bit
1
of an
arrival on
extra
board.
dimension.
American 739, One Las Vegas, taxi straight ahead of Millionaire. We'll see you on the turnaround.
We're parked at Millionaire, and we'll see you here in about.
Copy.
Taxi to the Millionaire. Wow. Where is that?
So 19. So 1926, radar contact 35 miles south, Bryce Canyon.
200.
Descend, pilot's discretion 1010,000.
Descend 1010,000. Touchdown 100.
There's a lot of steps. In a way, you could set the altitude window all the way down, but you have to kind of respect all the descents. Oh, it's an FBO, yeah.
Tango Bravo. Do you have?
It sounds.
Did you say you have the Chow 1 on board or
good.
not? Go ahead and descend and maintain
Taxi to
flight level
Millionaire.
240 first, and then let me know. I stepped on you. Say again.
Right, so after.
All right, Turkish 8 Tango Bravo, descend via the Chow 1 arrival, 26 left transition, information Tango current.
No, M dots is 200 and then Gripper is 190. Now we can go down to 190. The seatbelt sign back on.
Los Angeles Center, United 4556, IFR to Dallas Fort Worth with Tango. Basic copy.
Oh, to Dallas. It's flying to Dallas. Yeah, this is what.
United 456, what cruise altitude do you want? You're showing 100,000 feet.
100,000 feet. What sort of aircraft is that? He's flying to 100,000 feet. Gosh, it's a space shuttle. Yeah, the mountains north of
United
Los
456,
Angeles.
pre-departure clearance has been sent.
Very nice weather, huh? Amazing.
9000 X-ray
Well, we're doing
Hotel, Los
16,000.
Angeles Center. For Truckee, as filed, maintain 7,000, expect flight level 260, 5 minutes after
Now we'll
departure.
set the QNH.
Departure frequency 135.55, squawk 7211.
Yeah, but you see kind of readjust.
Initially 7,000 and flight level 275 and 13555 and 4.
Oh no, with hub. Oh no.
TBM 900 X-ray
The
Hotel.
config has been corrupted. Oh gosh.
Advisory taxi, expect 160.
My PPL flying to Tampa beginning of April for the Sun and Fun event. Oh, nice. Tampa.
Alaska 353, leaving airspace north, radar service terminated, frequency change approved, Oakland Center offline, switch to advisory now, 122.8, see you later.
Alaska 353, see you later. Thanks for the old school sit today.
Give me a fright.
Alright, thank you for hanging out.
Are you, is it like my PPL, is it like aviation events, yeah?
Yeah, haven't seen those in a while. I love that one.
Oh, here's the first time chat from our friend
Juliet November, ready to copy IFR here at the truck.
Our friend the bot. Right, now we can go down to, no, still 14,000, okay.
900 Juliet Sierra, do you have the...
Tampa is nice, it's looking like a nice place.
Roger.
Maybe a little bit better than places like Orlando, and because Orlando is just all the entertainment parks and stuff, but
yeah, the
otherwise there's
Oreo
not much.
2 departure on
At
board.
least in Tampa, you're a little bit on the coast, and there's a bit of water running around and stuff.
Copy, stand by for clearance.
Oh yeah, Oshkosh, we were talking about it because it's close to Green Bay, you know, 'cause there was a flight there, so I did on the stream. So yeah, Oshkosh. Oshkosh looks like a huge event, huh? And Sun and Fun is a similar thing, yeah? Down to 12,000. So from a controller's point of view, as you see, it's very easy because he said, oh, descend Alaska 215, descend with the Ironman 2 arrival. So the arrival takes into account the descent clearance. So he knows until I get to the downwind for LAX, he knows exactly what I'm going to do.
Juliet Sierra, pre-departure clearance then.
Oh no, yeah, you had to cancel the last 2 years. Oshkosh. Yeah, hopefully this year is gonna be a little bit easier now. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
2132, copy. This should be the lucky one arrival.
Some scientists seem to be quite optimistic, so we'll see. Only time will tell.
Hello, hello, this is Golf, Whiskey Mike Romeo November, TBM9 at Burbank.
Yeah, that's LA. I can't remember, I think I actually flew that approach. The arrival, Ironman 2. It rings a bell anyway.
Whiskey Mike Romeo November, pre-departure clearance sent.
Los Angeles Center, United 456, ready to push back.
Yeah, 456, push and start, your discretion.
Yeah, it's like a pilgrimage.
Expect one right.
You have to go to
at
Oshkosh and Sun and Fun. It's the
right
general aviation pilot pilgrimage.
Yeah, 456, thank you.
Fair enough. Based, what altitude? 9,000. 9,000 for the next waypoint.
Delta 1966, next landing information, continue.
Anyway, it's true, those events are a little bit like a pilgrimage, you know, because it's so busy, and you know, it's all about like getting together and talk about aviation and have a good time and stuff. It's a little bit like that. Like 10,000 feet on the lights.
Los Angeles Center, Pacific Northwest 9472, Whiskey, flight level 330.
Looking good so far, looking good.
Northwest 9472, Los Angeles Center, good morning, squawk 7121.
Squawk 7121 for 9472.
It's starting to come back on the speed as well. Yeah, the airport is here. That's the airport here. I think it's a little bit patchy for the moment because it's far. But that's the airport there. And downtown LA is somewhere along here. The hills north of Los Angeles. It's shearing. On volanta. Is this Long Beach down here?
Golf Whiskey Mike Romeo November with the request.
Oh yeah, the Blue Angels. Where are these guys from? Then 8,000. Do you see, all the while I've been following like all those, you know, restrictions on the arrival, and dial them as you go along.
Go Whiskey Mike Romeo November, runway 15, taxi via Bravo, Burbank altimeter.
Oh, here's yeah.
3019.
Here's downtown LA. For what it's worth, of course. But you kind of descend on the downwind here with
Northwest 9472.
downtown LA just underneath,
the Avenal VOR,
which is quite
descend via the
spectacular.
Ironman 2 arrival.
Descend by the Ironman 2 arrival for 9472.
And after Juice, we go to Cliffy at 7,000.
I'm sorry, I think I stepped over. I apologize for that.
So earlier on, you know, we were talking about using VNAV, and this situation, then VNAV is very handy because it's just
1979,
takes you
runway
all
25
the
right,
way.
taxi via
San
Charlie
Carlos
10
Road.
Bravo, LA altimeter 3020.
How much that? Taxi runway 25 right via Charlie 10, Bravo.
Yeah, somebody else was calling. Was that Southwest 216?
Yes, from Southwest 216, Ellison. Good afternoon. With taxi runway 24 left.
That's 216, 24 left, taxi via Delta 9
Fantastic.
Echo, altimeter 3020.
American Stars, VNAV's time to shine, yeah.
2020.
San Carlos Road, Pensacola, Florida. Oh,
Alright, 1
nice.
Foxtrot, you're 10 miles from ZZ. Turn right, heading
ZZ.
220, maintain 3,500 till established on the localizer.
What is that?
Clear dial left, runway 25 left approach.
Close to ZZ. In French, ZZ means really.
FedEx 1853, descend and maintain 8,000, expect
Sorry
visual
about
approach
the
runway
references.
26.
Descend 8,000.
Yeah. Descending on the downwind there over like downtown LA. Amazing. And obviously this is simulator stuff, I know. But like always, you have to use a bit of imagination.
November 900 Juliet Sierra with departure, ready to take.
It's actually impressive because then at some point on the downwind, you have to expedite sometimes the descent a little bit.
Somebody else calling for taxi, who's that?
November 900 Juliet Sierra.
Right, so now we maintain 6,000 feet and wait for the controller to give instructions.
900 Juliet Sierra, runway 15, taxi via Bravo, Burbank altimeter 3019.
Taxi runway 15 via Bravo,
November 900 Juliet Sierra.
That's the airport down there.
United 456 ready to taxi.
So, 6,000
United
feet.
456, runway 1, right at Bravo, taxi via Whiskey Delta Bravo.
1 right via Whiskey Delta Bravo for United 456, thank you.
FedEx 1853 Ontario, altimeter 3019er.
3019 is FedEx 1853.
Delta 1926. The wind is variable at 4,
Yeah,
altimeter
downtown
3025,
LA.
runway 3,
Here
clear
we
lane.
are.
3025, altimeter 10 run, land runway. Delta 11.
LA Center, 7906, Bravo.
Exactly like that.
Circus 8 Tango Bravo, turn
Not sure
turn
what
right
this one
heading
is.
280.
Oh, that's maybe the place
Actually,
for the LA
But
Dodgers.
you're a little high for the descent for the Chow
maybe like a
1. Make a
baseball
left
stadium.
turn to 080.
Here there's a door, maybe for the Lakers.
8,000.
City of Angels indeed. Hey, Flight Sim Race. Got you out of bed there. Oh,
United 4824, Los
altitude
Angeles
hold,
Center. I believe
10 knots.
we ran out of your range for your air traffic. You want to switch over to Unicom?
I hope he's not.
Yeah,
fog-
4824, leaving my air. You're
I hope
entering
he's not
oceanic
forgotten.
airspace. Radar service terminated. Frequency change approved. Squawk 2000 and
Where's the other
have a
guy?
good flight. We'll see you later.
There's a guy. Oh yeah, here he is.
LA Center,
British Aerospace. Oh, that's microflight. 3,000 feet on final there. Beautiful.
Elephant, Southwest 16, Echo 7, we're ready for departure, we're ready for that.
A little bit hazy in the distance.
That's 216, RNAV Delray, wind variable. Wind is 290 at 5, runway 24 left, clear for takeoff.
And of the way, runway 24
let's
right,
have a look.
Southwest 16.
Okay, it was VRFR aircraft calling in. Who was that?
yeah, that's 7906 Bravo.
Oh yeah, the Gunfighter MK3
7962 Bravo, Los Angeles
Space
Center.
Combat
Go
Edition.
ahead.
Yeah, 7916 Bravo, Cessna 172.
Nice.
In the vicinity.
Looks lethal.
200 climbing at 5,500, looking for flight calling down the port.
Is it for
7962 Bravo.
something like
Squawk
DCS or?
771 ident.
7271 will ident, Cessna 7960 Bravo. Center, good afternoon, American 123, ready to go, 27 San Diego.
I'm not sure how far it's gonna take me. The downwind.
American 123 RNAV Winfield, wind variable at 3 runway 27 clear for takeoff.
We're not one for your clear for takeoff.
Let's see.
LAX, Golf, Whiskey Mike.
Did it a microflight? Did the controller take you quite far on the downwind?
So Whiskey Mike Romeo November,
call him
wind
visual.
130 at 4, runway 15 clear for takeoff.
Let's take off from 15 Golf, Whiskey Mike Romeo. I'm on.
Alexander, good afternoon. November 292 Whiskey Sierra.
Number 292 Whiskey Sierra, Los Angeles Center, go ahead.
November 292 Whiskey Sierra, fancy 3.
Yeah, that would be a useful joystick, I guess, for DCS and games like that. That'll be really good.
292 Whiskey Sierra, which airport are you at?
And we are flying around. Come on, it's getting a little bit far there. 20 miles. He's a busy man.
Formula 1 Foxtrot, winds 290 at 5, runway 25 left, clear land. FedEx 1853, airport is at your 12 o'clock, 7 miles port in sight.
We're gonna end up in the mountains there, my friends.
But we way too high. We have some more left, please.
All right, FedEx 1853, make a left 360 down to 4,000.
Left 360 down to 4,000, FedEx 1850.
Les Center, Alaska 215.
Shoot, what the heck am I? Version 1979. Sorry about that. Version 1979. Looks like we're ready for the clearance for the departure. Runway 25 right.
Where are we going?
1979 heavy, 25 right, line up and wait, traffic short final on the parallel.
I'm copy that, line up and wait, runway 25 right, 1979.
Alaska 215, you are 15 miles from Gigi, turn right heading 220. Maintain 5,000 till established on the localizer, cleared ILS 25 left approach.
Right heading 220, maintain 5,000 until established, clear on 25 left, Alaska 215.
That was 216. Radar contact, altitude leaving. 216, altitude checks, maintain 8,000.
220, wow.
Center American 255.
I do think he forgot a little bit about me. Approach speed 116. It's nice.
2553
Nice
Los
and
Angeles
slow.
Center, squawk 7201.
Right, so let's update this one.
292 Whiskey
Inbound
Sierra,
course is
expect 28 right for
251.
departure, advise ready to
Set.
taxi.
251 here. So now we're gonna
Sierra,
get
runway 28
runway
right,
center
taxi
line
via
drone.
Hotel Alpha.
We'll go ball lock initially and see what it does.
456, ready on the one right, holding at Bravo.
So 1926, welcome to the Grand Canyon, taxi to parking. Thanks for flying.
Thanks for your service. Thanks for parking. That's the 150.
Ah, okay, so you can choose flight sim race, like if it's for left hand or right hand. Are you left hand or right
Whiskey
hand?
Romeo, Golf Whiskey Mike Romeo November, radar contact, the altitude leaving.
Passing 4,000.
Actually,
Mind you, you
wrong
get
tag
used
on
even
that.
if you're like
7120.
right and everything with your right hand.
120.
Like now, like you know,
456, ready on
flying
one
from the left seat, you fly with your left hand, and it's okay. You get used to it. Or you're right-handed, yeah.
456
Yeah,
on
but
that
you get used to
side,
it.
Wind calm, runway 1 right at Bravo.
Actually, it's not too bad.
Clear to go, 456.
Altitude acquired. Alright, with some flaps.
Los Angeles Center, November 930 Hotel, great expecting.
Alaska 215, localize established, 25 left.
We're 900 X-Ray Hotel, runway 15, taxi via Bravo, Burbank altimeter 3019. Alaska 215, wind 290 at 5, runway 25 left, clear land.
Clear to land, 25 left, Alaska 215.
Formula 1 Foxtrot, hold, exit right and hold short at 25 right.
Exit right, hold short, 25 right.
1979, RNAV Docker, wind 290 at 5,
Wow,
runway
ILS from 18 miles is far, man. Hey, bonsoir, MSCP004.
Copy that.
Ça va?
RNAV, Doc.
Ça mousse, ça mousse.
Clear for departure, runway 25 right, 1929.
Yeah, fly sim race, you need to multitask with the right hand as well.
Go Whiskey.
Ça va, merci.
Romeo, November, radar contact. Proceed direct tiller. Then
Quite
on
lucky
course,
today
finally
with
flight level
ATC
300.
and LAX.
Still then on course.
So that's good.
300 Mike Romeo November.
For the double header Thursday. Yeah, the controller sounds quite busy.
Sierra. Wind is 130 at 4, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 900 Juliet.
But he's on his own actually. There's nobody else in the area. San Diego, I think, is just one ground controller, that's it.
Sierra, wind calm, runway 28 right, clear for takeoff.
Good right, clear for takeoff to Whiskey Sierra, and we wanted to make it departure today.
Is that the direction you want to go?
Hey, first,
Alright, make a right, downwind departure.
make make a right downwind departure, 28 right November 292.
FedEx 1853. Looks like he. FedEx 1853. Radar contact lost.
600,
The controller is funny.
Center, this is Virgin 1979. Clear runway 25 right, positive climb, crossing out
So,
2005 for 400.
this is another approach
1979 radar contact.
where you reach
Altitude
the
checks, climb maintain
runway
13,000.
threshold and the DME
Climb
reads
13,000.
not 0 but 2.
Hi, 8, correction, Turkish.
I don't
8
get
Tango Bravo,
why
heading 09
they do that, but I think I showed you earlier on in Kansas City, and
yeah, 456.
here at LAX it's the same.
Level 350.
Yeah, MSCP-004. The area sounds quite busy. Yeah, that's good.
Los Angeles Center, American 2553. Please confirm radar contact.
Yeah, it's nice. You've got downtown LA on the right here, the view over the hills and mountains, and then the view over the ocean. If you were on an aircraft in real, obviously going beyond, you know, the simulation scenery, but this is why it would look like exactly the same with the ocean in the background there, the mountains.
Yankee 27
Yeah, it's exactly the same. It's breathtaking actually how it looks. Because you see it here, and then if you do it in real, you'll think, I've seen that before because of the simulation.
123, climb maintain level 350.
Right, so we go flaps 15.
TBM 900,
That's what I like about the simulation, is that it reminds you of places as well.
900 X-Ray Hotel.
Oh yeah, the Hollywood sign. Somewhere on the right hand there. Yeah.
15
Right.
900 Juliet Sierra. Radar contact.
So,
the altitude
start
leading.
switches. Continuous.
Altitude 5,200.
Rico.
For 900 Juliet Sierra.
Check.
900 Juliet
Arm
Sierra.
green light.
Check,
Landing
right,
gear down 3
heading
greens.
350 when
Auto
able
brake
direct
is
killer.
3.
Join the Oreo 2
flaps
departure.
30.
Climb maintain level 260.
Direct killer and the flight level 260 for 900 Juliet Sierra.
Tracks are on. We are clear to land.
1,000.
Check.
That was
one
216,
thing
climb
I've not
maintain level
done was to
360.
set the missed approach 2000.
Alright, so,
Burns. Oh, no.
November 29er, say again?
760
Whoa.
Did you observe my ID?
So, autopilot comes off. Auto throttle comes off. Yeah, clear to land.
LA Center, 375 for radio check.
7962 Bravo,
This
radar
looks like
contact
25
17
left.
miles
Good.
south, or northwest of the Oceanside VOR. Maintain VFR altitudes on course.
Alright, that check for 4,500. We'll maintain VFR and on course.
Wind is pretty much calm, huh?
No, 1979, climb maintain level 390.
390, 1979.
Plus 100.
LA Center, good afternoon. River 1, St. George. With the numbers, looking to pick up IFR to
Minimums.
full hit.
Continue.
It is 990, we're checking in at 40,000.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Yeah, 1990 Los Angeles Center, squawk 7231.
Here we are.
Formula 1 Foxtrot, cross 25 right, taxi to your gate, monitor this frequency.
One Foxtrot. Here he is. And we'll vacate here.
Alaska 215, welcome to LA, exit right, cross 25 right, taxi to your gate, monitor this frequency.
Okay, vacate to the right, cross 25 right, and we'll go to 65. Thank you very much.
Delta 2659, final runway 27, runway is in sight.
We'll take this one. We are clear to cross. We'll
Delta
keep an eye on the
2659,
crossing
clear
though.
approach runway 27, wind is variable at 3, runway 27, clear to land.
And then I have to look where I am exactly.
Delta 2659.
Well, 65. Are we clear to cross? Yeah. There we are.
Roger, Center, good afternoon, France 650.
Oh, I thought you were crossing here.
To Paris.
Oh wow. Right, so where are we? This is Papa.
CPM 920, exit Delta straight for departure on 15.
Yeah, but that doesn't match. Uh-oh.
900 X-ray hotel.
I don't have a Papa on the chart.
20, wind 140 at 4, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
Landing of 220, runway 15, clear for takeoff.
So I think we'll go on Charlie.
Roger, Center, France 65, ready to check.
France 65, sent you pre-departure clearance.
Yes,
I know.
Thank you.
Terminal 6? Yeah, 65.
Circus 8 Tango Bravo, turn left, heading 350, descend and maintain 5,000, expect visual approach 26 left.
Let me have a look, because this is a little bit beyond.
That's 375, reaching 5 by 5 now.
Oh yeah, it's at Charlie 8. Okay, got that. Gotcha.
Bourbon 1. Clear Laughlin is filed. Oh, let's try this again. Bourbon 1, I have your clearance advisory copy.
Hey.
Go ahead, sir.
So these lights can...
Bourbon 1, clear to Laughlin as filed. Maintain 11,000, expect 16,000. 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency with me on 135.55. Squawk 7171.
Bourbon 1's cleared. Laughlin filed. Climb into 11,000.
Charlie 8.
You.
Turn to the left.
7171.
Hey, where's the car going? Hey, what are you doing there? What are you doing? What are you doing? And he stops.
Bourbon 1, readback is correct. You're released for departure.
Unbelievable
Sign now
driving.
19562.
And he gets stuck in the middle.
2020.
Beep beep.
St. George altimeter 3034.
Get out of my way.
Climbing through 10,000.
Terrible driver. Hey, see you on the next one, my PPL. Thank you again. You are so kind. Thank you.
19,000.
Ah, oh, come on. They need to stop crossing the road. Oh, yeah, that's it. Stuck on the taxiway there.
Yeah, 456, climb maintain flight level 350.
Flight level 350, 456.
Delta 2132, wind is variable at 3, runway 27, clear to land.
What is this? Goodbye.
LA Center, Pacific Northwest 9472, holding level at 6,000 for LA.
Charlie 8. But the gate should be in this cul-de-sac. They are on strike, yeah?
Pacific Northwest 9472, yeah, you we're still going out a little ways for the vector. You're 10 miles from Gigi.
I was looking at trying to disable that traffic, but I don't think it is disabled. Whatever the term is, you can't disable it. As far as I can tell. Start the APU. And we're going to 65. Stay alive.
JetBlue 880, runway 25 right, taxi via Charlie 9 Bravo, LA altimeter 3020.
67, 66, maybe 65. Oh yeah, we got the guys here. Another mad driver in LA.
Turkish 8 Tango Bravo, turn left heading 240.
Oh yeah, because X-Plane will be maybe more adapted to Linux, wouldn't it? Here's our gate. The guidance system, 65.
Solar 375, Los Angeles Center, squawk 7277.
7277, Solar 375.
And Delta was calling, who's that?
Delta 2659 to 7 located by Bravo 10.
2659, contact ground 123.9 or off the runway, thanks for flying.
Contact ground 123.9 are goodbye, Delta 2659.
LA Center, November 2, Niner 2 with Sierra, position a couple of times reservoir inbound to the end of Ramona.
Niner 2 Whiskey,
here we are.
Ramona, altimeter 3019er.
3019er to
Parking brake set. 2 blues. 1 red. We can shut down the engines.
Niner 2 Whiskey Sierra, enter a left downwind runway 27.
Shut off the beacon. And shut down the aircraft. So the fuel pumps can come off. And this one can go out
Whiskey
as well.
Sierra, enter left correction, right base runway 9 here. Wind is 0708, runway 9 clear to land.
Electric hydraulic pumps
And Whiskey
off.
Sierra, wind is 0708, runway 9 clear to land.
Runway 9 clear to land, Whiskey Sierra.
Pacific Northwest 9472.
And the
wind
transponder back to
2905, runway 25 left, clear to land.
Clear to land 25 left for Pacific Northwest 9472.
Delta England, it's still runway to 7 located to the left.
That's 2132, exit left and contact.
Cool. Welcome to LAX, ahead of schedule. Have a little look outside. We didn't do the music on during the flight, huh? Shame. The model matching is it's like Ghost Rider sliding along the taxiways. Yes, that's FLAI. Yeah. I don't think he likes the BAE 146. We can get the gate to move. Deep boarding. 13. Oh yeah, the gate is the bridge is gonna move. Nice. That's it. Let's have a look at Volanta. I'm sure it's registered. Busy airport, huh? Wow. 57% arrived today. And they are only just starting their day. Oh, and ground? Ah, no. It's in Newport Beach. Review the flight. Not sure what the damage was on the landing. Oh, not bad. Minus 113, it says here. 1 hour and 3 minutes. Yeah, the downwind kind of took a little bit longer. That's alright. 125 on the block. 137 on the landing speed. It's maybe a little bit slow anyway. That's good. That's registered. Here's the downwind, yeah, over Santa Monica, Beverly Hills, Hollywood up there. the downtown Los Angeles. Then turn inbound. We talked about the stadium, SoFi Stadium, I think is somewhere around here. At the satellite thing. Yeah, here it is. When it's zoomed out, you see it. When you zoom in, it's the building site. So there you go. And then at the airport, touching down here, un poquito, well, a little bit far down. We're still in the touchdown zone. And vacated here at Hotel 7. This is labeled as Papa indeed. So I couldn't see where I was going. And then Charlie. And to the gate here. Okay, not too bad. Beautiful. So that was another successful Volanta flight. Good. That's it. Like always. Oh, thank you very much, KFC Turbo. Now the 49ers can win, so I can do the flight again for the Super Bowl again. For the moment, have a good weekend. Tomorrow is Friday, yeah, so gonna be time to play. Don't forget to update your navigation database. It's the time of the month. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you soon. Thank you again.